Now a disturbing discovery down the shore to tell you about. Dozens of dead diamondback turtles are dumped on the beach.
These koalas are clinging on to life, desperately dehydrated with burnt paws, and it's a rush to treat them before another fire front comes in.
Well, it's a swarm of enormous proportions. Desert locusts are eating their way across large parts of East Africa, and it's the worst outbreak some countries there have seen in 70 years. Now, here are some of the countries that are most affected by those locusts. Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya are the worst affected, and Uganda is bracing for an invasion too. Authorities have advised citizens to stock up on food as the insects approach the border with Kenya. Now, researchers say they pose an unprecedented threat to food security in some of the world's most vulnerable countries.
Of acres of crops destroyed. People fight back with whatever means they have.
We are more than 200 herders here, and we all depend on this land for grazing. Now it will be disastrous if we all perish without getting any help.
The swarms came from Yemen, then down from the Red Sea to the Horn of Africa. The unusual warm temperatures off the coast are partly to blame. The recent heavy rainfall has created the perfect breeding conditions. The greenery
$3000 банка.
The noise
hiss is deafening, the stench worse, but locals are powerless to get rid of them unless they break the law.
This is like from a horror movie.
It was like a bat tornado over the town. That's how bad it was.
It just seems to me that every bat in Australia is now in England.
It's a town under siege. Overrun by bats that outnumber the population by hundreds of thousands.
It just stinks. It stinks.
Infiltrating every corner of the town, putting lives at risk.
What was your biggest fear when you got scratched?
Am I gonna die? Like, what's gonna happen?
Get rid of the bats. We've had enough. It's just been going on for way too long.
It's mid-morning in Ingham in North Queensland, and in the centre of the normally quiet town, there's a cacophony of screams.
Wildlife officials in BC are trying to figure out why dozens of birds literally dropped from the sky dead. Witnesses say they'd never seen anything like it. And as the CBC's Belle Puri reports, people are sharing their theories about what happened.
The best way I could describe it is kind of like an Alfred Hitchcock bird, literally.
It's hard to believe what happened, except for hints on the ground. It was last Friday at dusk.
All of a sudden we seen birds doing like loop-de-loops and all sorts of, flying around, and literally just turned around and went right into the ground.
Kevin Beach and his pal Sean Phillips were driving when the flock of birds fell out of the sky and hit the pavement. The pair pulled over to investigate.
The birds were twitching and they were in blood spots, like little pools of blood here and there. Like they hit the ground hard. They were dead. So there was no survivors. They basically all just right into the ground.
Some of the casualties can still be found at a pullout along the busy causeway from the Tsawwassen ferry terminal. The Canadian Wildlife Service confirmed something did happen here. Biologists refer to it as a mortality event. Some of the bird carcasses were collected and sent to an animal health lab for post-mortem analysis.
Here by Shawena Lake. As you can see on the road here, there's approximately 225 dead starling on the road itself, and many others along the hedge on either side of the road. No starling apparent, no starling apparent in the fields on either side, which is very strange. So we've got officers now from the Animal and Plant Health Agency here to seize some of these starlings with a view to having them examined for looking for poison, for example, or looking for any other thing that might have killed these animals. So it's happened yesterday evening at about 20 to 4 p.m.
A mass stranding of over 50 pilot whales occurred last week in West Iceland's Snæfellsnes Peninsula. The event occurred on the sand island Gamla Eyri along Lungufjörður. The whales were spotted by a pilot and his guests during a tourist excursion. It is not well known why pilot whales strand, but there are several hypotheses. Pilot whales are named because they follow a lead animal, usually a matriarch. If the herd leader goes into an inconvenient area or is hurt, the group won't leave. Anthropogenic factors could also contribute to mass strandings. Sometimes they are due to human impact caused by persistent organic pollutants, because they bioaccumulate and can cause nerve damage. Persistent organic pollutants include cadmium, mercury, and the man-made chemicals DDT and PCBs. It is more likely, however, that the herd followed prey into shallow